decided to post a video where I'm showing you this very old home, and I just made black beans, and they're in a slow cooker. It smells a lot like soy sauce. Because it is beans. See? I don't know if you can see that, but it's black beans. When I used to eat meat, I had this one canned dish of like eel, I think it was eel or something like that. And it was, it had black beans in it. This reminds me of that. The smell of it is really good. But I remember it being really salty. There you go. So I put it in a container. And you're probably wondering why I'm showing you this. So I'll be back. So, one of the things I've been promising myself is to be more vulnerable, showing the imperfection of life as it is, as something already perfect as it is. You know, you still learn as you go. Being in the present moment, regardless of anything. Because in the present moment, that's all there is. And that's where consciousness is. That's where the universe flows. And we just act accordingly. That's where we get guidance from as well, or we get these downloads. People, and I still wonder sometimes, it's like, what's my purpose? Where am I headed? We're always looking for the direction away from the present moment. As if there's something wrong with the present moment. Because the ego is scared of that. And I'm starting to realize it bit by bit. I find that when I look for the answers, I don't get them. You don't get the answers by looking at them. You get the answers by being present. Because it's in total acceptance of what's happening. It's an inner knowing. There's still this tendency to rush things. Not because of the speed, but because of our conditioned being to go to the end and go into the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. So it can be quite challenging, really, it can be. But if you ever thought about those moments when you do something quickly, when you do something that's rushed, when you do something where you're just looking for the answer, you're looking for the way out, you're looking for the next thing. It's that energy of rushing, it's that energy of going into away from now. It's funny because I left this door open as I was doing all that stuff. Because one of the challenges I've been looking at is to just be present. And one of the things I fear sometimes is stepping out, which I'm doing right now, with my sandals on. And just enjoying what's here. Regardless of being in the city. One of the things about being in a city, and this is true because this is an ego belief, that being in the city is technically kind of dirty. Dirty is a judgment, right? What is dirty? What is all that stuff? I mean, technically, what is dirty is not dirty, but a reaction of the rejection of that dirt, the reaction of that thing that is to the ego, to the delusion mind, that it is not wanted, it's strange, it's deadly, it's lethal, it's bacterial, it's dangerous. Therefore, it's ego fighting itself because it's first wanted to step away from the reality of microbes and dirt, and that's one of the things I still go through. There's actually a bee here going through the flowers. There's a lavender. It's wonderful. And just being. So the ego is fighting itself because it separated itself from the world, separated itself from everything else that is just beingness and existence, that it's created these boundaries. Just the fact that here we have there's a gate around this house. Well, the back and the side houses that have boundaries comes from fear. In all existence, though existence self being doesn't reject that. There is no rejection, there is no acceptance per se, like as in but it's just complete wholeness. There's no existence of a disintegration. Yes, one of the risks I'm doing right now. It's not a risk because it's the ego wanting to oh my sandals, like for example, are like right here. Like I brought the sandals out. You can see it. And so but now I brought it out and realizing, oh, what am I worried about? What is there to worry about? Nothing really. So it's a beautiful day. Thank you for the vitamins. There you go. So that's my little vulnerability video of today. Technically, this was supposed to be posted yesterday, but it's my schedule thing. I promised myself I would do it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. Either way, it's already here. Little things, bit by bit. I'm becoming less. I'm practicing less and less. Listening to the whole fear thing. It's like, oh, wash everything that you're touching. But it's a step. It's a step. We'll see how this goes. It's easier said than done, right? Fear is an illusion. You can say that to yourself. You can learn about it. Textbooks, books, teachers. Not even just the word, just the concept of doing. It's really surrendering. I still don't know how to surrender, to be honest. Because otherwise I wouldn't have I wouldn't make these videos if I just if I knew how to surrender. There wouldn't be any of these videos. There wouldn't be any of these need to. There would just be whether I come across someone or I don't, whether I eat or not, whether I breathe or not. And just being is just being itself. Total, like just no disintegration. However, the disintegration, the separation has its own purpose on its own. It's part of the evolutionary process. It's part of realizing that everything's change is inevitable. Starting to get it now. I'm looking at this bee, and it's doing its thing, but this comes from being. It's like it's who it is. It's like what it is. But it realizes that its connection to everything else is not separate. That connection can still come through the ego itself because it realizes that it has to protect itself because it's afraid that its existence will come, face to face with its own inexistence. What is inexistence? It's really just change in form, right? Death is a change in form. The ego is attached, but the ego is not the enemy. There is no enemy. The ego is just a function of creation. It's a perception that the form is existence itself. And it's easier to wish it as if it were like, I wish I were a baby again or a toddler and not have all this conditioning and trauma. But there's a purpose for trauma. We have trauma because it's a change. Trauma is like change wearing a different mask. It's a beautiful day. It's so wonderful. Just being out here. No, that's like right at the sun, but you could just enjoy that is like this tree right here. This bush, tree, whatever you want to call it. Ladybug. I don't know if you can see that. There's a ladybug there. See you guys later.